Yo, one of the things um I enjoy the most, um, I enjoy the most about not working a 9 to 5 is time control, having freedom, um, being in control of my days, um, creating my own schedule, you know, every day. You know what I'm saying? Just going with the flow, going with the wind. Um, one of my biggest, um, one of my biggest, uh, one of the biggest things I disagree with while working was, while working a traditional 9 to 5 was, we used to get 6 personals for a 365-day calendar year. Not that we worked 365 days, but we worked a lot of days throughout a year. And to only get awarded 6 personals, and then to take it a step further, you only got 3 emergency personals. So you only got 3 times to have an emergency within a year. You know what I'm saying? Aside from you having kids and a family and, life just happening outside of work on a day-to-day basis. They gave you 3 times to call out without explanation, call out without a doctor's note or jury duty, like some crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like they gave you 3 times to do something like that. And it's like when I think back on that, it's obviously it's unfair. It's damn near impossible for real if you really live in a real life. Some people cancel everything in a personal life to um like submit to the job, to do what they need to do for the job. Like the job becomes primary and everything else becomes secondary. Family, kids, hobbies. So that's one of the biggest things. One of the biggest things that I was blessed, you know what I mean, to be able to experience with this journey I've been on, and not working a traditional, 9 to 5, and not being under the whistle, not being under the program. It took me a long time to get used to just getting up and going wherever the day took me. It took me a long time to get, like, to deprogram and reprogram. You know what I mean? It took me a long time to just be able to just get up and go with the wind and not be racing against time, and not be just, it took a long time to get out that system, bro. For a long time, even post 9 to 5 life, I was still racing against time. I was still scrambling, like, damn, what's tomorrow? Thinking that I had to get up and go to work, and I had to, I only had a certain amount of time to do something. And now it's like I got all the time in the world to do what it is I want to do, even if it means doing nothing at all. Like, I got all the time in the world to do that. And sometimes I be feeling like bad because I know that that's the way life should be, but I also be feeling bad for people that I know, people that still in the rat race, you know what I mean? People that still within the system. Is like, I wish that we all could experience, I wish we all could be afforded the opportunity to at least just see what it's like and see whether or not we like it or not. Because I could have easily, I could have easily got, like, eventually got acclimated with everything and then decided that I ain't like this type of life because, it's people that's like that. The system be so strong, the programming be so strong the brainwashing be so heavy that it's actually people out here that possibly could have experienced not having to work and having their lives back and having the freedom to do what they want to do every day, be with their kids, do nothing at all, do a hobby, do something they never did before, like every day. Like, imagine just having every day to yourself, having every day be yours. You know what I mean? Every day belong to you, and not worrying about having 48 hours away from a job. You know what I mean? Some people got days off that's split in half. They don't even have 2 days back to back. They got 1 day off, then they gotta go back to work, and then they got another day off, and then they gotta go back to work for 4 days straight. But it's people out here that, given the opportunity, they probably wouldn't like it, because as long back as they can remember, and people don't realize this, the programming start early. It start in elementary school. It start in pre-K, kindergarten. So it's not really far-fetched. It's not really like out of the norm for a person to just not, or rather not have their time to themselves, or be afforded, if they were afforded the opportunity, to be in control of their life again and be in control of their freedom. And some people look at it like, oh man, that's some bum shit, man. I gotta work, man. I gotta be active. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. No, that's what they told you gotta do. That's what you think you gotta do. It's so bad that you feel like a bum. It's so bad that you feel like a loser, or you feel like you're still in time or something, or you feel guilty or something, and it's nothing to feel guilty of. Like, this is your time, this is your life. It's free, my nigga. It's yours. Imagine going your whole life living the way somebody, let's just say for instance that we only get one life. Let's say for instance that people don't believe in reincarnation and all of those kind of things, right? Let's say for instance that we only get one life. Imagine living your entire life the way somebody else told you to live it. Just imagine that. Like, that's enough to set the tone for everything else. That's enough to change your whole way of thinking. Imagine if you really only had one life to live and you living it like this. Elementary school, middle school, high school, get out of school, get a diploma. If you get a diploma, GED, go to college, get a job, work 40 years, retire, die. Elementary school, middle school, high school, graduate, college. If you go to college, if you don't, whatever, get a job, work 40 years, 50 years, whatever, 30 years, retire, have about 2 to 5 years to just live your life and die, bro. And you only get one life. I'm just saying, just imagine if that's the case. If you only get one life, you gonna live it the way somebody else telling you to live it? You gonna allow somebody to control your time? You gonna allow somebody to control your life? What you do, what you don't do, how you do it? One of the best things, man, like that I was afforded, and I was able to experience, is getting my life back, getting my time back, being in control of my time, being in control of my life, being free. Getting out them chains, dog. That 9 to 5 shit, getting out that system, getting out that prison. And I talk about it on other videos. Like, I'm gonna go back because that's what you do when you got children. You know what I mean? You make sacrifices sometimes that you yourself, you may not agree with, or if it wasn't for these kids, I know damn well I wouldn't go back out here. I have no reason to. I'm free. But that's like escaping a plantation, and on that plantation, before you escape, you had a wife and you had some kids. I'll be that nigga that'll go back and risk everything to try to free my kids, or to do whatever it is I need to do or can do for my kids and my, you know what I'm saying? Maybe not my wife, but my kids for sure. You know what I mean? I just consciously I couldn't escape and free myself and not try to free my kids as well. You know, in other words, going back to a job or shit, hopefully I don't have to. I don't know what tomorrow gonna bring. I don't. I like to believe I do, but I don't. Only Mother Earth, only Mother Nature, the creator, the divine mother, only she knows. But you know, that's how I look at it with the job shit. Hopefully I don't have to ever work a job again, because like I said, I don't know what tomorrow bring. But that's my mindset, that I'm willing to make a sacrificial move like that to continue to do what I need to do for my kids. And shit, if I never get an opportunity like this, as long as I live throughout this experience, throughout this life, I'm grateful, because I'm able, and I've been for 14 months, 15 months, I've been able to do what some people will never be able to do in this lifetime. At least in this lifetime. They'll never be able to do that. They'll never be able to experience what life is like. Being in control. Not being on a 1 week paid vacation, bro, from your job. Not being out on you know, you injured at work and you on fucking you know, what's that shit? Workers' comp or some shit. I'm not talking about none of that. You know what I mean? Because they gonna rush your ass back to work. Believe that. I done went through shit like that too, nigga. You got about 2-3 weeks. Death in the family, you got about 3 days. Depending on how bad you hurt yourself. If you gotta get surgery and all that, you might be out of work for 6 months, or you got FMLA or something like that. I went through that with my girl being pregnant with our kids. Like, you got little certain joints, but you always know in the back of your mind, you gotta go back soon. You know what I'm saying? Sooner than you may want to go back. But see, for me, I've had so much time away from it that if I had to go back, I'm okay with it. Being as though it's for my kids first and foremost. But it's like, I'm just grateful and thankful that I was able to experience this shit. You know, we get to a certain point in our lives where we gotta press the pause button on the things that make us happy. That inner child, we gotta leave it behind, because they tell us what age to grow up and what age we gotta be. You know, and how we gotta be adults, and we gotta pay bills, and we gotta do all of these grown-up things, and you know, we forget about our life for real. We leave all of that shit somewhere. We just drop it. And we just proceed to move forward with this adult life shit and all these responsibilities and shit. It start to get complicated. Hence to why a lot of men out there, a lot of women out there, they just unhappy because they not really doing the shit they want to do. They not having the experiences they want to have, because everything is so money, is so money infused. It's so cash driven. So you got to give up everything and go to work every day and fall into that and lose yourself in that. And so it's people that's never going to experience this, you know what I mean? And I'm just grateful, bro. Like, nigga just wake up and don't have nothing to do. I ain't got to worry about nothing. I ain't got no worries. Little hairs and theirs and shit, but ultimately though, bro, it was so crazy. I didn't know what to do with it, because like I said, I was in a program. I was so programmed, bro. You know what I'm saying? I had one of them chips, them microchips in me too, bro. I eat, sleep, shit work. But one of the biggest things, bro, that I can say, one of the best things, getting away from 9 to 5s is like really being in control of every day, all day. Doing it how you want to do it. Not having to worry about getting up to go to work in the morning and going somewhere you don't want to go every day, indefinitely. Every day you got to go to this hellhole. It's enough to make you want to fucking press delete on your, you know what I mean? Like, some people go through it to the extremities of that. Like, it's just, it's miserable. You know what I'm saying? So I'm ready and I'm willing, you know what I mean? But I also remember vividly 2023, I was at a breaking point. That shit broke me. That shit broke me in half. You know what I mean? Well, it tried to, you know what I mean? But I was there though. I almost crumbled. And I just had enough. You know what I'm saying? In 2025, what's this? April the 4th. I don't feel like that. I'm rejuvenated. I was able to recharge and rejuvenate and reflect, get my mind right, get my spirit right. A lot of people, they not afforded that opportunity, and it's disheartening because everybody deserve that. Shit, nobody have to go out this motherfucker and work and kill themselves for these companies and these places that will replace you overnight. You a number. You know what I'm saying? But that's another video for another time. With the should we work and be in charge for all that shit is for another video. But yeah, man, it's like it's a blessing. You know what I mean? It's a blessing. I was blessed. I was fortunate. You know what I mean? To be able to be in control of my life, bro. Like I said, I was 100% in control. Like, a nigga ain't know what to do with that shit. I don't remember the last time I was able to wake up and do what I wanted to do. Do anything. You know what I mean? Or do nothing at all. And not feel like I wasted a day off. And I'm racing against time, and I gotta make every day off that I get count because I know where I gotta go at to make this money for 5 days straight. So even that, just not being pressed. You know what I mean? If I don't get it done today, I'll get it done tomorrow. If I don't get it done tomorrow, if I don't get it done this week, I'm fine, bro. Fuck it, we can do it next month. Take your time. But yeah, man, that shit beautiful, man. I hope that this shit gets to a point where jazz is a thing of the past for people, man, and it's just some other ways that we can make the world go round.